I have to say that I used to be a very skeptical person. I graduated from a traditional medical school in Brazil, and I didn't have the opportunity to learn anything about complementary and alternative practice. For around 14 years, I have worked at an academic institution, the Faculty of Medicine of the University of São Paulo, where I had the opportunity to take care of patients, think about this process, and discuss it with the students. I always valued the opportunity to reconcile practice and theory. In Brazil, the public health system provides medical assistance to all citizens, prioritizing it to the most vulnerable communities. The Health Basic Unit, where I assisted people and supervised the students, was located in a poor neighborhood in the city of São Paulo. As a family doctor, I had to deal with people's most common problems, such as chronic pain or anxiety, for example. Eventually, I shared frustrations with the students when I realized that sometimes the patient got out of the consultation feeling worse than he got in. It can happen when the suffering patient schedules an appointment with the doctor, searching for wellness, but has to deal instead with the list of a lot of exams to do, the prospect of new diagnostics, and a prescription full of new drugs. I realized that the medical resources could be helpful, but many times weren't enough to promote the relief that my patients were looking for. The challenge of promoting health is even bigger when it comes to a vulnerable population. I was struggling with the difficulties of being a family doctor of a vulnerable population when I was introduced to Biokybernetik Smit. When my friend Tamis brought this new technique to Brazil, she explained to me that it was possible to promote relief of people suffering, applying stimulus at the surface of their skin using a metal equipment. At first, I didn't feel very enthusiastic because I didn't believe in this kind of thing. But after feeling the benefits in my own body, I decided to learn the technique and then voluntarily offer it to the community that I had assisted before as a family doctor. My team there was capable of attending around 40 people in 2 hours. I think that this was a lot. And it was a great surprise to me when I observed the wellness that a part of that population perceived. For example, people who didn't get better with the medications that I once prescribed were grateful because they felt relief of pain, anxiety, and sadness. After a while, we started receiving people that were referred by the family doctors that worked at the Health Basic Unit. This was the starting point for me. The empirical results that I observed with many people for around 3 years. After this experience, I decided to go deeper and study what kinds of biological phenomena may be responsible for all those clinical results. I have been thinking that contemporary society tends to value the cognitive brain intelligence that manifests itself in the human capacity to think. This trend is justified because human cognitive thinking was able to develop great achievements such as science and technology, which brought us significant advances. Sometimes we are so connected in our mind that we fail to perceive all the wealth of phenomena that happen in our bodies. We fail to realize that for life to be sustained, there must be a multitude of organic reactions. Human beings are in permanent interaction with the environment to adapt, you need to recognize and react to stimuli that happen inside and outside your body. The human body has extremely complex communication routes formed by the neurohumoral system. Nerve impulses and hormones are like messengers that take information from one place to another, promoting communication between the various systems that make up our body. When nerve sensors recognize a stimulus, information is quickly taken to our central nervous system, which processes this information and sends commands to activate systemic responses. These are the phenomena of human self-regulation that keep us alive without having to think about them. Our bodies can recognize external and internal stimuli and react to them automatically. By interpreting the signs that come from the body, the central nervous system can recognize when a disease starts to develop. When it happens, it summons different organic systems to act in a coordinated and synchronized manner to resolve the detected dysfunctions. The complementary and alternative therapies rely on the body's ability to regulate and heal itself. Sometimes, talking about the body's intelligence can sound like something mystical or magical in the allopathic medicine context, but we can't forget that even the medical interventions, including the medicines, operate by mobilizing some of the body's inner resources. Another important argument that sustains the body's intelligence in the allopathic medicine context is the need to develop research methodologies such as randomized controlled clinical trials that can control the effects of self-healing. Dr. Smit, the developer of the Biokybernetik therapeutic method, spent 30 years of his life studying how to access and activate the self-regulation control system of the human body. He knew that some of these principles have been used in millennial therapeutic methods, such as Chinese acupuncture. After a long period of dedication, he could develop a map of points at the skin's surface that, after being stimulated in a certain sequence with the right equipment, could activate certain kinds of neurohumoral responses to activate the autoregulatory system that will search for what is wrong and react in a synchronized and coordinated manner to solve the problems. That's why the person that receives this technique can feel relaxation and well-being. Biokybernetik Smit technique can stimulate the autoregulatory system to detect muscles that are constrained and promote relaxation. That's why we can observe that people change their postures after receiving the technique. And after relaxation, they can feel lighter and healthier. These are the manifestations of the body's intelligence that are activated by the method. I can say that I have been observing many health benefits in the people who received Biokybernetik Smit. This year, I am starting a doctoral project with the team in the Faculty of Medicine of the University of São Paulo, in which we are going to start a randomized clinical trial to assess the impact of Biokybernetik Smit in pain and quality of life. Besides this quantitative approach, we are going to have a qualitative approach that will investigate people's experience of care. I am very confident that it will be possible to scientifically demonstrate Biokybernetik Smit effects. Scientific validation can be important for public health policies to consider other care strategies besides allopathic medicine to face the most relevant health problems of contemporary society. The good thing is that this therapy can be learned and practiced by everybody. There is no need to be graduated in a specific health field. It's an accessible therapy for all kinds of people that want to practice or receive it. It's possible to promote health and wellness to a lot of people with sustainable interventions. This can be a powerful resource to public health that can complement allopathic medicine.